I would call that recharge mode.
Yeah, recharge mode. You're recharging your car.
And you're recharging yourself.
And you've got this, look at this headrest with the like full mesh. I love this. These have to be like some of the best seats I've seen on this side of a, you know, 6-figure price tag. Not much need to duck as long as you've got your seat in the right position. Now you may not have seen inside of one of these before, so here's what you can expect if you're a 5'10", 200-pound guy like me. First thing to notice here, plenty of knee space, right? We don't even have a center console that runs the full width up to the front there. So tons of knee space here, a little bit of extra storage down there as well. Good outward sight lines, nice low glass on the side. For my comfortable seated driving position here, I can actually see pretty much right out to the edge of the hood. Good sense of space here, power adjustable steering wheel. Worth noting though, that this is the highest position this steering wheel goes. And from right here where I'm comfortably seated, I am losing a little bit of the upper part of the instrument cluster. And also I've got this interruption with the steering wheel right here to my climate control system. Of course, I can press this button and expand the climate control menu over that way. But point is, ergonomically, it's a little bit fiddly around the steering wheel here. We've also got the drive mode selector and terrain mode selector right here on the steering wheel, which is a little bit different as well. Heated seat and steering wheel controls down here on the door, and the rotary gear shifter. So that's forward for drive, backwards for reverse, press here for park. This is your power on and off button here. And plenty of headroom up above too, even with that sunroof. In my comfortable driving position, you could be a few inches taller than me, I think. So ultimately, no issues in here to note with space, entry, or exit, but a few ergonomic sort of quirks that you'll have to get used to from the driver's seat. So I've got the Ottoman seat here if I want to take a little nap.
Not when you're driving.
Definitely not when you're driving.
Not when you're driving.
Do not use it this way while you're driving.
No, don't do it.
The airbags, that'd be paperwork. Read a book or snooze, very comfortable. But yeah, we're definitely not driving in this position. Oh, look at that. I just pushed the button once and it's gonna bring me into the wake up position here. Back upright.
And you're moving forward.
And it's like I'm back ready to drive, one button press.
So you're back in your original driving position.
Yeah, I just have to kind of lean back up in my seat, and this is exactly where I left it. Like super handy. That's a really cool touch.
That is a really cool touch.
I want to see what happens in the second row. So watch getting in, just a little bit of a duck for my head here. Nice flat floor right the way across there. Of course, we don't have a gas tank, drive shaft, exhaust, any of that stuff chewing up space underneath us. First impression from back here, I like that I'm sitting up a little bit higher, so I've got a view sort of over the driver's seat. Nice forward view out the window there. Even two big adults would have plenty of room between themselves. Headroom getting maybe a little bit tight. I'm 5'10". If you're much taller than me, you'll find that running out pretty quickly. This can go. But yeah, for a 5'10" guy, this is pretty awkward for me here. But if you put the Ottoman down, actually, depending how you like to sit, right? Maybe you're not driving, you're camping, it's raining out, you're just kind of hanging out somewhere dry. You've got a little bit of a social lounge here. Now, we can't do this if we're driving, because we can't have a driver sitting up in that front seat right now. But if you're in the vehicle, maybe camping trip, it's raining, you want to be out of the rain, good place to hang out, a little bit of a social lounge here. And
yeah, I think so.
Those Ottoman seats will work just fine for like your smaller kids and so on.
I think so, yeah, but as an adult, you would never use these in the back. That's where they're, because between my legs and the front seat, if somebody's sitting there, there's not much room. But even when you brought your seat all the way forward, you were still pushing, you were still pulling your feet, your legs forward, because you were going to still touch your seat.
Yeah. Charge port, storage pouches on both sides.
I wouldn't eat soup on there.
Yeah, definitely don't put your soup on here if you're driving. But if you're parked, I guess. And then you've got storage space underneath there for your spoons and Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
We're gonna try that third row.
Alrighty.
Okay. Now question is, how are we gonna fit? And this will be like how many crossovers now that we've done?
Well, I'm impressed by the first two rows, so I'm afraid to be disappointed on the third row.
This is gonna be a surprise. It can go one of two ways. So nice touch here when you're hopping in. You've got something to grab onto for a sturdier step. Okay, so here we are. Definitely not as comfortable as the first few rows, I would say. You just press the button to stop it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So you press the button once to fold it up, press it again to stop it. Now, I have just enough room here, you can see, couple of fingers worth of leg room.
This is only a 2-seater. It's usually 3.
Yeah, you've only got the 2. It's like, it's enough. It's snug. It's definitely snug.
Like,
we can recline these a bit.
I can recline, but...
Power recline too. Show us the power recline there.
Like, right... That's my max right there.
Okay, I'm gonna try mine here. So power recline, this one. I mean, I wouldn't want to drive like that. It's not super comfortable for me.
I would not want to be an adult in this back row.
Yeah, I mean, it's just enough, but you certainly have bigger options. I was expecting a little more room. It's handy, like you've got the USB plug, you've got the power seats, you've got some storage and organization.
I can put change in this little thing.
But at the end of the day, you and I are just, I think, a little bit larger than the average Target shopper for the rear row.
And I know what, I'm impressed by the headroom.
Yeah, headroom's absolutely fine. We can see that.
Because usually, like, your back of your head's touching the ceiling for sure.
Yeah, and we can kind of see that from the outside in the shape of this thing, right? So no issue at all with headroom here. And to me, like, that's just to say enough knee room that I'm not touching. It's okay. Definitely wouldn't want to be back here on a really long trip. I'll press the button again. That's gonna motorize that out of the way for me. Up to the front.
Thinking I want to go out backwards. Hold on.
Yep. That's a good step.
It's all right, but it is tight.
So third row here if you need it. Adult friendly if you really, really need to. But best to leave this for occasional use by adults or for use by your kids. So quick button press there.
Oh, headrest came down. That's nice.
So one of the first things that you said when we got in here was how comfortable these seats are. And actually, yesterday driving this home, I had the thought that if I could steal these seats and put them in every car I drove, I'd be happy to do it. Tell me what you were noticing when you said how comfortable these seats were earlier.
I find these seats can do everything. You have like that little Ottoman thing going on in the front and like crazy lumbar support.
That was probably my favorite thing about it. So if you look at the back of my seat here, notice this is not particularly like a thick, padded, cushy looking seat, but it is very cushy once you're sitting in it. You've got these mesh headrests here that have just enough give.
Lots of softness.
Yeah, so when you lean back on that, it almost feels like a memory foam pillow sort of behind your head. But what we're talking about with the lumbar, if you're someone that deals with sciatica, back injury, lower back problems and the like, your doctor or chiropractor may have told you should be driving using that lumbar extension in the seat, which is going to push out on your sort of lower spine around your tailbone. And I'm one of those people. I have to use that in most cars when I'm sitting for 4, 5, 6 hours driving with that lumbar out. It's giving you like a little push. But as camera guy James, as you said too, you hold this lumbar thing, which is adjustable for height, by the way, so I can put it right down where I need it. I'm holding the button now, and that lumbar cushion just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. To the point where if you're someone that doesn't need it, you'd probably find this uncomfortable, but it is really shoving into my lower back now, making sure I've got the right posture, and that you've got the right posture if you're someone with kind of a crappy lower back, to do hours and hours on end without putting all that extra pressure on your spine and pelvis. Probably one of my favorite things about this thing. And the first thing that you noticed on our car ride today.
For sure.